I have things to do, Mrs. Grimm, he said, and so does your family. You need to make sure Baba Yaga restores her guardians. You must make her understand that she is vulnerable. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be so easy, Uncle Jake said. When I gave her back the wand, she claimed that my family was now her mortal enemy for lying to her. She is moody, Charming said. Find a way. And he turned to the girls. I have one more present for you, Sabrina. One to share with your sister. It's advice. No matter what the cost, save the ones you love. When you look back on me, remember these words. Remember why I did what I had to do. He looked over to Mr. Canis and then back to the girls. And get that weapon as soon as you can. Sabrina was confused. She wanted to ask him what he meant. He walked down to the street carrying his mirror, and moments later he was gone. That night, Sabrina was once again roused from sleep by incessant knocking on the front door. Later, she would wonder why she had answered the door at all. It seemed as if every time she opened it, she got a nasty surprise. It was late, and no one else in her family seemed to have heard the visitor. How could she have known that Nottingham and Mayor Hall would be on the other side? How could she have known that both of them would have blood-red handprints painted on their chests, the mark of the Scarlet Hand? So you're with them, Sabrina said. Mayor Hart looked at the mark. It is quite an honor to be able to follow the master. He has great plans for this world. Granny and Uncle Jake joined her at the door. I've got good news for you, Rhoda, Hart continued. Wait a second. I don't know why. Mine may have lagged out. I've got good news for you, Rhoda, Hart continued. We've decided to let you keep your house for now. I have a feeling we could have raised the tax to $1 billion and you would still have found a way to pay it. So, congratulations, you are now the last human family in Very Poor Landing. Unfortunately, I have some bad news as well. You see, I tried to be nice and let you leave on your own, but you refused, so now I have to get mean. Nottingham, arrest Canis. Nottingham took a pair of handcuffs from his pants pocket. Absolutely. Your family has hidden behind Canis for decades. He's been the only thing between you and an angry mob on more than one occasion. I suspect that things will get very unpleasant for you if he isn't around. It was my deed to break into the jail and free Wilhelm, Granny said. Arrest me instead. Oh, you'll think we arresting him for a reason. How funny, Nottingham said with a laugh. You can't arrest an innocent person, Sabrina said. Fine, Nottingham said. I'm arresting him for murder. Murder? Sabrina cried. The big bad wolf murdered a little girl's grandmother, Nottingham said. Perhaps you've heard this story? Red Riding Hood, Uncle Jake said. Now, where's the old flea bag? If you're hiding him, I'll take you all in. Mr. Canis appeared at the doorway. I'll go with you, Nottingham, he said calmly and stepped out of the house. He had no fear or anger in his face. In fact, he seemed at peace. The sheriff slapped his handcuffs on Canis's huge hands. You've got the right to remain silent, he started. You're just giving up, Sabrina said to Canis. You could run off. They'd never catch you. We all have our destinies, little one, Canis said. Perhaps I can save everyone from mine. What's going on? Daphne said as she came down the stairs. She was still rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Sabrina stepped forward. You won't get away with this. We'll stop you just like we stopped all of the Scarlet Hand. We've got a whole family. There are only 2 of you. I'm afraid I disagree, child, a voice said from behind the maid in Nottingham. Sabrina appeared into the dark and saw a mob of ever after stepping onto their line. At their forefront was the Beast, followed by the Frog Prince and his wife. Miss Muffet was one of them, as was her husband. The spider, Tweedledee, and Tweedledum were there, accompanied by the Cheshire Cat. There was a sea of ogres, witches, trolls, cyclops, tree gnomes, leprechauns, and dozens of talking animals. They were ever after Sabrina had seen all over town. Some she had spoken to, others had waited on her at local stores. Glinda the Good Witch stood with them. All had the same red handprint on their chests. "You look surprised, Grimms. I was hoping you would be," Mayor Hart replied. "Not surprised," Sabrina said. "Relieved now. I know which of you are the scum and which aren't." "Oh, but you haven't met our latest recruit. Allow me to introduce the newest foot soldier and the Scarlet Hand." The Grimms turned to look. "I'm sure you'll agree he's just a prince of a guy," Nottingham added, and the crowd erupted into laughter. And then Prince William Charming stepped to the front of the crowd and stood between Mayor Hart and Nottingham. His shirt was marked with a blood-red handprint. To be continued. The end. I know it's far from 15 minutes like my usual videos, but it's the end of the book. I'll make more videos though, I promise.